Hi, we're the Co-Pods, and we're here to show our covers.
Alright guys, so we are here today to discuss the albums that we've created for Juto's album Velvet, which was released in 2019. So many of y'all probably tuned in and saw our interview with Big D right here in this very spot. We've had probably 2 or 3 weeks to put together our designs and kind of go off of that interview. I would say for me, this is the first one that I've done where I didn't have like a really big idea like prior to the interview with a friend, and so.
Well, for me, we were talking. Like, if you guys watched the interview, I had an idea prior to this, but then during the interview, my ideas kind of switched, and then after that switch, still, I just kind of like had another like roadblock, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. This was a really interesting album. I didn't think it'd be this hard.
I don't know. Going into it, I think you were the one that recommended this album.
Yeah.
And for me, it was not something that I guess I would normally listen to. So I found it like really difficult time trying to do this album justice, just because it wasn't like I guess what I would standardly listen to.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
And so finding a way to relate to the music, I really had to go back to the lyrics, and like I usually listen to songs for the how they sound and like the beat. And so for this one, it was one of the first ones where I just went straight to the lyrics to try and make sense of what was going on. And
we talked about it a lot in the interview.
Yeah.
That's what actually got to me too. Before I even, with the first 2 ideas, it was just kind of me going on like what I've just listened to in general of the album, not like listening to the lyrics in depth. And so for my like brain block, I guess you can call it, it was just like, wow, these lyrics really got to me, and I don't like these ideas. So I just went to my other ideas that I actually kind of made with. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like this album cover for me is just kind of tricky. It was kind of difficult because it could have been thought out in so many ways.
Yeah, and I think it was weird for me, just because Juto isn't like a celebrity and there's not a lot of information on who he is as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And I think on the past 2 album covers, I've kind of gone back to like interviews or watched and really gotten to see someone talk and like seeing how the artist actually is as a person. And so for me, I really designed this album cover not really knowing who Juto is or like having an assumption of who they are, which is something, people front themselves as something and then they're not that. But this was the first time where I didn't have a personality, I guess, to go off of other than a few articles that were written about him.
Yeah, I feel like with you and your previous album covers, you're really implemented on the artist and the rhythm itself. So it's like a big brain block for you, this album cover.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm always stuck on like the meaning of the album on the design.
Yeah.
So for me, it was more of just left and right on how I wanted to figure out the meaning of this album cover for my ideas.
I got you.
But I don't know. It was really difficult to me. I'm always sporadic with my ideas, One day I could be thinking of this, and then 2 seconds later I'm thinking about this, and then 3 seconds later it's like, never mind, let's go backwards,
It's like, walk us through Bert's brain. What were your first ideas that you didn't go with?
So the first idea was I envisioned a silhouette of a woman between 2 trees.
I think I remember you saying this.
Yeah. So the silhouette between 2 trees and a sunset. And that could be really good, but I feel like color play in that would be really difficult.
As in like a silhouette, so you would not see anything other than the outline or the shadow?
Yeah, just like a full black woman. Like the silhouette,
Yeah.
And then the trees would be colored, then it'd be a sunset. But I think that one the difficulty with that idea would be color implementation, and then trying to get across the meaning of Juto. Because we talked about Juto, and essentially it's just like someone who is kind of heartbroken, or they want to be with somebody they can't be with, Yep. And that's just the story of Juto, or that's just the story of Velvet.
Mm-hmm.
And so my second idea, we talked about the use and play of the material Velvet.
Yeah.
And so I kind of implemented that in my album cover that I designed for us today, but it was just too much. I took a lot of photos. I took a trip to Chicago after our interview with Big D, and and so I was like, wow, these photos are really good, and I wanted to use those photos in some way. And so some of the photos I wanted to crop out the silhouette of my family members I took of, and essentially make that like their body a whole velvet.
Okay,
that makes sense.
Yeah. That'll make a little more sense in a little bit. But.
Yeah, and then I started to play with that a little bit, and I was like, no, it's not looking good.
That's the struggle.
Yeah, like it's not looking good. I don't want to do this anymore. And then I found this one photo that I took of my parents, and the photo itself, I was just like, that kind of hit home to me.
Yeah.
And because if you don't know who these people are, like if I just showed you this photo randomly, I didn't tell you my parents, I think it would have been like kind of the message of Juto or Velvet, and it could be implemented that way. But
would you say it's similar to like Saba's last album?
His Care for You?
No, the one before that where it was like a picture. I think it was of his grandma or grandpa.
Oh, the latest album.
Yeah.
The one that I just somewhat. I could Well. Actually, let me just start then. Let me just show you my album cover.
Okay.
I'm going to go here. So, I made a couple of iterations of this, but this is essentially the album cover.
Okay.
So the idea with this is a separation between two people and like kind of a broken spirit. So in the middle, it's essentially the broken spirit. You know, like the broken, lost track of him or her wanting the other person.
Okay.
And then I used velvet to like cover the eyes, kind of just like the idea of being an unidentified person. If it makes any sense. And so that's how I just implemented the use of velvet. But the original image to this, I don't know if I can find it, but essentially it's just them two sitting next to each other, and they're actually really happy.
Okay.
And
you can tell.
Yeah, I mean, within the photo you can tell itself as well. But to me, I kind of wanted to. There were two main ideas for me. It was being broken and being unidentified.
Okay.
And so the unidentified person would be velvet, like the velvet strip, and the broken part would be kind of the disconnection between the phasing of the picture between the woman and the man.
Okay.
And so that's just the idea of this album cover for me.
So you said broken and disconnected?
Unidentified.
Unidentified and disconnected.
Unidentified and broken.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's pretty simple. It's nothing out there. But to me, that's how I felt like I can get the point across the clearest.
Yeah. So it's interesting because you used like a picture of your parents, and they're obviously very happy. And so were you like trying to like, because like this album was about love, I think. That's my interpretation of what it was about. And so it's interesting because it's like you're showing a side of it where it's like you can tell that like the normal photo they were very happy, and then you're disrupting that.
That's exactly what I wanted to show.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll pull up the photo for you guys, but in the real photo they're close together and they're actually really happy. And like to me, when I took that photo, it was an unintentional photo. You know, I was just around in the backyard and we were just taking photos. I was just taking photos just to be silly. And so I took this photo unexpectedly. It was really dark and the flash was really bright.
Yeah.
and so everyone was caught off guard, even my parents. So that's like a genuine smile. And so like, wow, this is like, to me, after seeing that photo, capturing that moment, like when I got back home from this trip, I was like, wow, this is actually a really incredible photo, because through the photo I saw like what my parents have been through together throughout their whole lives.
Yeah.
Like the ups and downs and where we are now.
Yeah.
And it kind of just hit home, and I was like, you know, I don't really want to put my parents out there, but I thought it was a perfect image and I had to use it.
Do they know you used it?
No.
You're gonna show them.
They're gonna know.
They're gonna know.
Surprise. So yeah, I mean, so that's my final iteration.
Okay.
And then this is one of my other iterations, just kind of a disruption, you know. This one is This one's more of a disruption between the two.
Mm-hmm. It's like two different worlds.
Exactly.
Coexisting.
Yes. So before I finalized my podcast or my album, this is what I was stuck on. I didn't know what to use, but I felt like this image was just too much. Okay. I want it to be really subtle. Something that I really follow is Mies van der Rohe saying, "Less is more."
Less is more. Okay, architect.
So, he's one of my favorite architects. So
yeah.
So I just kind of like went with that instinct, and that's why I went with the first. But so yeah.
Okay. It's almost interesting because it's like, it would be interesting to see this without a white border even, because then it's all about the image itself.
I can definitely pull that up.
Uh-oh. He's ready.
Always ready.
No, I think that's something I've struggled with. Is like, even for the Instagram that we've done, we have like a border around it. Yeah.
Without the border?
Honestly, yeah. Because...
Alright, well, that's my... I mean, sorry, what I just said... what I just said is not my cover. This is my album cover now.
Yeah, that's sick. No, it's maybe even a smaller border. I don't know. I think that it's all about the picture. And so when you just put the picture, it's a lot more powerful.
So this is the original image.
Okay.
And it's just them sitting down.
It's weird how when you take the eyes out of a picture, it's like you dehumanify.
So that's the original image.
It's weird how you take the eyes out and you just like can't tell who they are.
Exactly. That's why.
It's crazy.
When I did that, I imagined, in old TV shows, how they had the black eye strip, so that you can't identify.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to do something like that, but then I used the velvet material to represent like the album cover.
I get you.
Like velvet,
Yeah.
I had to implement velvet in there after talking with Big D. But yeah, so that's the original image.
Because it's like your mom's reaction to you is like comical, and your dad's just like, oh, here he goes again.
Yeah.
But he's kind of entertained by it. There's a dog. I didn't even see the dog in the other image.
Yeah, that's my cousin's dog. His name is Cade.
Cade?
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah, so...
Okay, let's go back to the album cover.
Of course.
No, I think it's interesting, Bert. I think that... I almost want to like pull up your old school projects.
Because of the reputation?
You do this in a lot of things, and it's like a trademark for you. In a lot
it really
of ways.
is.
And I mean, it's awesome that you have a voice in it. Like, you did this on, that was your project for Z's. It was something about traveling with sound. Then we did these edits for a Chicago exhibition, and like your whole thing was based off of repasting. And so it's interesting to like see you go back to like something you're...
See, the thing is about that, it's so simple, but yet to me it says a lot.
It does.
Less is more.
Hey.
I don't know, I really like the aesthetic of it. And if you can do it really cleanly, I feel like I can do it cleanly here. I think I did it pretty well here. If you can do it really cleanly and kind of disrupt the main part, but then let the outside of it flow. So like the top part, it still kind of seems like it's connecting, but then the middle part, you can definitely see a disconnection. So that's why, like, I don't know, this whole idea of repetition is just what I like in design. If you can really knock it down.
I think that you have something going forward that you're going to be able to like really do in different variations.
That's what I want.
Different things. It gives you your voice.
A voice. Opera voice.
No, it's really sick. I think that my favorite thing is, I don't know, it's just like a simple picture.
You like the shoes?
Yeah, the Starbucks cup.
Starbucks cup.
Gotta tag Starbies. I don't know, it's like a disruption of something that was a genuine moment, and I think that's speaks to the album, is that Juto was very much in a disrupted state of mind going through love. Yeah, so I think it's a very powerful, also just, I don't know, it's just like a patio, like it's nothing, as even like you show me some other photos you took, which y'all will see on the Instagram page, but it's just like everyday moments, or everyday, not necessarily everyday moments, but just very subtle like moments in life that aren't staged or not, like, I don't know.
I mean,
there's someone at the top of the, you took some pictures of some items on top of a table.
Oh, yeah. But so I'm about to show you these other photos that...
Okay.
Excuse me.
Johnny.
That were kind of part of the process that I had. So in the backyard, there's these cars, and there's this Honda Odyssey. This is like '99, I think. And I asked my cousin Johnny. You guys will see in this photo. Like, hey, can you just sell the back of a car for me? I want to make I'm making an album cover for my podcast with my friend. He's like, yeah, sure. So he just sat on top of the car, you know. And I was like, that's a really good photo. I have an idea. This is what I was talking about, taking his silhouette, turning it all into velvet.
Yeah.
But I think the photo itself was kind of disrupting with this bright light here. I could have messed with it in Photoshop, but then you have this whole black.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't work well. And this is my other cousin.
Just sitting on cars.
Exactly. Just sitting on cars. You know, just kind of... I like the idea of sitting on cars.
She's standing on a car. Oh, that's Johnny. Just kidding.
Yeah, you said he's still on the Honda Odyssey. Yeah, but so Vic, I kind of like the idea that if you sit on a car, it just gives a moment of like, I guess the word is depression, but that's a really strong word. You know,
it's like a weird metaphor thing.
Like a state of discomfort.
It is in a lot of ways. But I also think it's like a power move because it's just like I think it's a way of like showing ownership too.
He's just standing like a duck. And so this one was really cool.
Yeah.
Except for the hands. Nah, I'm kidding.
Nah.
But so yeah, the idea was just to not actually show them, just take the silhouette and turn it into velvet. This one I really liked, looking up towards the second person, kind of the metaphor of like looking up or looking at his future.
Yeah. Like
looking to a higher platform of himself.
I get you.
I really liked this image, but it was just really hard to manipulate.
I feel like doing that, would be really difficult because you're going to deal with a really strong like border.
Yeah, and that,
velvet,
not only that, but the color of velvet itself would be really way too bright for the image because everything else around it is dark.
Well, does velvet only come in that red color?
Velvet is red, is it not?
I think so.
Like red velvet cake. That's a really good cake. But yeah, then the fire photo. This photo
is insane.
Is insanely amazing, I think.
Wow.
I wanted to use it, but at the same time...
Hey, this is something you just save and pull
Exactly.
out. Yeah. That's a crazy good photo.
Yeah. That's why I just like taking photos, you know? I think for my future album covers, I might have a problem with taking too many photos.
Hey.
You never have enough, can you? I don't know. But yeah. That's... I don't know. I wanted... This album cover kind of... I had some more images that I just felt like I can just use that as the album cover, but I just felt like I wasn't putting enough work in it. But at the same time, you know, creativity also just comes in the moment and not over time.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I definitely took some photos of... I was trying to find an idea, and I definitely went downtown in Austin and have a bunch of photos. I don't even have ready to show you, but I was trying to find an idea, and I was going to use photos, and then I, like, shifted. But, yeah, I like some of these similar moments where you go and just take a photo and you're sparked by that.
Mm-hmm. I have a whole folder of I have a whole folder of my Chicago trip, so
yeah, that's good.
But yeah, that's my album cover.
Let's see.
All right, so you want to show yours now?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go.
Okay. Do you want to just go straight to it, or do you want
however you want?
Yeah, I'll just show it and then we can kind of explain what's going on. All right, so this is my album cover. I went actually pillow shopping at Ross, and I was trying to find a way to get velvet fast, or some velvet look-alike. There's actually 3 different types of like velvet. I don't remember the exact names. I don't think this is true velvet. I think it's like velveteer or something. I don't know.
Musketeers?
I looked up 3 different, and there's like obviously there's velvet, which is super expensive, and then there's like the ones we have in our houses and stuff that's more durable and better in terms of usability. But this is actually like the fabric is pulled off of a pillow that I got at Ross, and so what I wanted to do, I mean, the album was about love and the hardships of it to me. There was just a lot of like talking about how difficult it is and how confusing it is and how hard it is to get through. And so this heart was once upon a time just cut into the heart shape, perfectly cut, no rough edges, hadn't gone through anything. And so how I came to this was I basically took this piece of fabric and it went on journeys of like what love is. And so we have a heart that got nailed to a board, and so that's some pain. That was one of the early things. I left it for a day in my stairwell at the top. It gets to like 110 degrees, so up in the cobwebs. It was up on the, I believe this is a water meter.
Surprised I didn't get taken, not gonna lie.
No one goes up there, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I just left it up there for a day. I came back and it, like, honestly, a piece of it, like, it had changed color a little bit from it, but it hadn't moved at all. There was another, so I went down to the pool, which y'all were probably hearing in the background, and so we were at the pool for like a couple hours, and this one sat, you can see there was like a stain here from an earlier issue, from an earlier adventure.
Heart issues.
Yeah. And so then this was like a walk in the park, and so we went on a walk in the park, you know.
Like a pet dog.
Yeah, and so tied it around my shoe, walked through the gravel, walked through the sidewalk, walked across the road.
You're just stomping on everybody's heart now, huh?
Hey, I'm just saying, love is like a walk in the park. Like, that's an experience you have with love, and so why not take the heart?
Well, isn't the walk in the park saying like an easy saying?
It's supposed to be, but then it's like, you know, it's like, I guess what I was trying to do.
Well, I mean, I think that's more of a metaphorically point, but if you actually think about it, it can be really rough.
Yeah, but it's like when you're in love, like sometimes you just take a walk in the park.
And think about stress, or like relieve stress.
And discuss things. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I mean, a park can be anything.
I think I was just trying to show like the use, or like, I don't know, destroy it when you're mad, you know? Some people. This was
that's a nice photo.
This was a sunset view in the parking garage. I had a really hard time with the wind, so it fell down like 6 stories, so I had to go get it and then bring it back up, and then it fell again.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But this was after it got torn right down the middle. I asked one of my friend's dogs, I didn't get pictures of this, but like we had a tug of war with a dog in the park. So that was really fun. But yeah, that kind of tore it down the center. And so this was the heart at a Fiesta parking lot before it was ran over by my friend Rudy. Yeah, we, you know, when you just like, you're together and then you're just like, wow, I'm mad. So you take out frustration. I was like, you want to go destroy a heart? So this was the first thing that happened. So.
But yeah, well, they have like, frustration is a really big part of like taking out steam, you know.
And so
nowadays they have like not frustration rooms, like rooms you can rent out, and they put TVs in and you just
smash it. Yeah. So yeah, he ran over. I don't know if we're gonna get into the videos, but yeah, I have videos of him just like running over the heart.
I'll put him on the podcast.
Hey, yeah.
I'll put him on the video.
Tag him. This is a good one. I put it out on the one of the main roads here in Austin, Airport Boulevard. And basically, we'll get there. Basically, these cars just like went to town on this thing. This is a really good video, actually. It's just like,
I love the idea that you just put it in the middle of the road and let other people stomp on it.
Yeah, and so some people were swerving once it actually looked like an object, but yeah, and then
I don't want to deal with your.
And then the night where we getting better than not talking, but basically just like tore. Do you want me to start that part over?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, basically just. There's another video where I like put it at the end of a parking garage and then just like dragged it for like 50 feet. So yeah, this heart has clearly just been through a lot. And so basically all the experiences, honestly, I wasn't able to capture all of them. But in a lot of ways, it was just showing like, I guess the experiences you go through with love and then capturing that. And so when I got it back inside, it was really hard to get a picture of it. Like, there's some oil stains on it. There's the top left with all of that was the teeth marks from the dog. And so I decided to like stitch it back together, not all the way, and then show that like the needle is now going to the other part where it was stabbed. And so it's like love was like you're trying to have to fix multiple parts at the same time without fully like healing. Because that's what it is there's a lot of times you gotta compromise.
I love the heart itself.
Thanks. Yeah.
Do you actually have the piece with you right now?
Yeah, I do.
So get it. No, yeah. I mean, I
don't know if you saw it when you came to.
I did slightly.
When you came in and took a nap on my couch. Yeah, and Bert came to Austin and I walked in. He used to sleep on my couch, and I was like, dang. But yeah. This is the heart.
We gotta frame that now.
Yeah, honestly, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, there's just a lot that.
Oh, I love it.
You go. But yeah, after the last album cover, I think that I felt that doing something physically and then showing that digitally was a lot, I guess, more my style and more my speed for album covers.
This is a very great representation of like what you said, heart being broken and trying to constantly fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's what life is. At the same time, you're constantly finding people to be with at the same time. You just stuff doesn't work out or stuff never happens, and you just have to move on. And
Mm-hmm.
you have to figure out what you want in life, what you want with your future, and sometimes stuff is never meant to be.
Yeah. Sometimes
it's the right person but the wrong time. Sometimes it's the wrong person, wrong time. Sometimes it's the right person, the wrong time. Right time. Sorry, but essentially that's what life is, and life is what you make it. And
Mm-hmm.
this album itself is just how rough love can be, and I think this is a great image of how rough love can be.
I sent it to Big D, and she's like, "Why do you have a picture of my heart?"
For real, man. Oh man, I think we both had our fair share of love. But it hurts.
Yeah.
But we learn from it, we improve from it, right?
Yeah.
I will say though, I wish the background was like an actual physical thing. Like maybe behind a curtain that you have here.
Yeah.
Like you put the curtain on the floor and you put that as a background. I understand why it's
Yeah, I was kind of struggling with the background color because I wanted to bring out the string. So I don't know. Maybe on the final post or maybe the final cover it might be changed a little bit. I don't know. We'll mess with it after. But
put it on that stool.
Like on another texture.
Yeah, put it on like a wood texture. Right up in the camera, huh?
Hey.
But I feel like it just needs
another layer.
No, it needs a physical background.
That's fair. Because honestly, the photos are pretty sick.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Like even maybe on that chair that you have there,
mm-hmm.
I feel like it just needs that physical background. The image itself is amazing. The heart itself is amazing. I just feel like it needs more physical elements to it. I think it just needs a whole physical element.
I get you.
And then you can have that. You can keep the shadow background too, because that shadow has a really nice touch to it.
Thanks.
But yeah, I think the overall image is stunning.
Yeah.
I love the little velvet font on the bottom right.
Thanks. Yeah. For all of y'all out there who have ever tried to look for a font, that's a long process.
Yeah.
But no, I came out with that one, and I was originally going for like graffiti letters.
That's what I was thinking too.
But it didn't look as good as I thought it was going to look. So then I came to this one, and it felt right.
I really wanted to put graffiti at the very center image of mine, like the velvet graffiti font. But I don't know. I like my images too much to not have words.
Yeah. These are interesting. These are gonna be really cool next to each other.
Oh yeah, they're complete opposites.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, they describe the same thing, but complete opposites.
Yeah, different adaptations to it, but
isn't that what design is all about? Different adaptations.
Yes, sir. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I think that I definitely want to mess with the background maybe with you while you're here. Just to go through.
I'm down a bit right now.
Yeah. Throw it on velvet? ?
I was actually thinking that if you can just buy like a really cheap cloth from Walmart that's as bright red as that, it could definitely be as good.
Yeah. But yeah,
that's my thoughts on your album cover. I love it.
Thanks.
I think
it was fun. As fun as it could have been,
I really love how you got physical with the idea of a heart too.
Thanks. Yeah.
Like for me, it was just more of an image, but you actually went out and played with a certain material, the velvet material, and not only that you described the heart as the album cover, but you actually essentially played with the heart.
No, but I folded a piece of paper in half like in elementary school with like snowflakes, and I tried to make a mold for this or like a guide for it, and then it was too small, and I was like, I'm just gonna go for it. And I don't know. There's like so many. Go for it. No, there's just so many. It's weird because it's like there's so many different shapes of hearts in our society, and so I don't know. It came out exactly how I was wanting it to. But yeah.
I always thought I was good with the elementary snowflake making, but I was never good at it.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I actually have no idea. I just thought I was a guide, but I wasn't.
I feel like they're somewhere at my house in a box, and when I pull it out, and they're just like, oddly get too narrow or too thick, but yeah, I'm excited. I don't know, this one was it was just an interesting album for me because it was just really...
Out of your league. Well, not out of your league, but like out of your taste.
Out of my, I'd probably say comfort zone.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah. And
me and words don't go well together.
Yeah. Anyway.
You know, I think this whole process has been really amazing.
Yeah.
One thing I really love noticing, even though there's only been 3, this is our 3rd one, is the different adaptations between all our albums so far. First one, Kygo. I went full digital.
Yeah.
And
so did I.
We both went full digital. Second one, Tomish. That was last month.
Yeah.
And then I went photographical. Is that word? I don't know. We're gonna say the word.
You with words.
And you went
kind of hybrid.
Yeah, well, it was more like a physical representation.
Yeah.
And this one you're still more physical, and this I'm still more photography wise.
Yeah.
I think we kind of just found our niche, but I mean, I'm hoping we can. I don't know. The one album cover, we gotta step it up. Not step it up. I can't. I feel like we need it. I
think that the Tom Misch album cover for me was like.
Oh, I would agree.
I love that, and then it's just weird because it's like we're gonna see all of these like on the reel story or like the highlight reel which I made.
Okay.
But you can just like poke through all of them at the same time, and it's just crazy to see them all side by side because like this is a completely different. When you start to put them side by side, it's like I just don't know if you're gonna be able to tell that they were from the same people.
Yeah. See, no, yeah, I didn't mean it like to.
Yeah.
I didn't mean what I said like as in a step up. I didn't really know how to mere words, you know.
Yeah.
But that's what I was trying to get at. Is like I want to see the different adaptations as we progress further. Like, can we tell who did what, and if it's from the same person? Because I feel like already it's a lot different. I think the only one would be the Kygo. Maybe we can tell who did who.
Really?
Or yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting because this is a different. I don't know. It's just crazy, but that's what you get with different types of music is you expect different representations.
Oh yeah.
And so I think for me, it was really nice to know that it's like I now have a sense of confidence to tackle any type of music that's not what's on my liked songs on Spotify. Like I can feel comfortable like saying that I can make something that represents this style of music and I can tackle a different subject.
Well, I think not only it helps you tackle different styles of music, but I think this could also help us improve tackling different styles of design. Because we have to kind of adapt to the album.
You do, and the artist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's not like, I mean, I can be taking photos left and right, but I have to make sure that photo is to the design and idea of the album. It can't just be like this. The album cover I made for us on this album, it couldn't be the same type of photography as Tom Misch.
Yeah. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we're getting. It's nice where it's now feeling like I was telling my parents earlier, but it was just feeling like it's
normal,
more routine and less trial and error phase.
Hi, I'm normal.
But no, it's been really enjoying it. It's definitely like become an escape for me and something I look forward to as like a way to just have like complete freedom in the design of what I'm doing.
With when I design things, I hate it. I mean, I love the end product. I love doing it, but I just hate it because, like we said earlier, my mind is like left, right, backwards, forwards, and I can never settle on one thing. And once I start to settle on one thing, I stop like a quarter of the way.
Really?
And I was like, never mind. Like, that's my problem. You know, I want to show you guys all my progress, but at the same time, I don't have a lot of progress because I just stopped too early because I don't like it anymore.
I think that's like I don't know. It's like a deeper rooted issue within your brain. But we don't need to get there. But
being too sporadic.
No, I think it's a matter of like just letting, because it's like I think with me, it's just having the confidence to like know what you want in the end, and like even if it's not, you can't really see it yet. It's like as long as you put that effort in along the way. It was like when I was doing this, I really didn't feel like it was gonna photograph to where you could see all the things that had happened to it. Because when you see it in person, it's honestly a lot more. Yeah, it's like more solid. It's more solid of a color, and so with the way that it photographed was really nice.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot different in person. It seems a lot brighter in person too.
It's dried up a little bit too. It was wet when I took the photo. I dropped it in this like car's oil spot for a few hours.
Of course you did.
Yeah, and it was that's like that stain on the right, but
KZ's.
Yeah, I hope she's watching this.
That'd be pretty nice.
Yeah.
Great professor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, if Aziz were like see your heart, I think she would be amazing too. And, like the stuff you did with it too.
We'll have to send it to her. We'll have to have her on at some point.
That'd be interesting. That'd be nice.
Try that repetition stuff again. See what she. So Sarah Aziz was one of our professors at Texas Tech, but probably one of like the most influential people in terms of like finding my voice that I've ever had as like an instructor.
Yeah, she definitely pushes you.
Yeah, and she just comes in and she's just one of those people where that like forces you to push the boundaries, and she's like, it's not more so of, oh yeah, go forward. It's like, but why not do this? Or like, why not? Like, why don't you take the next step? And so in a lot of ways, having those people that just like let you find your own voice is in a lot of ways why I am where I am and why I'm doing this on the side, and this is.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would say the same thing with me.
Yeah. I think she was just really influential.
Yeah, she's definitely a dominant.
We're definitely gonna get her on here at some point. She'll love this.
She's definitely like a dominant like professor I've always remembered.
Yeah.
I've had her 2 times. The first time, I'm not gonna lie, it didn't go so well. But I understood like what I should have done better, like how I should have pursued that semester. And then the second time, I think it was just a really understanding like how she teaches, and she wants you to do better. So.
And just push the boundaries.
Exactly.
And
Yep. That's what we're doing. So I guess that's our. These are our designs for Velvet.
Yeah.
I think it's a great album. I think we both did well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like trying to give it a grade or anything, but
no, it's gonna.
I like that. I like your album cover. I like mine. So
yeah, I'm excited to put them next to each other side by side and release them to the world.
So different. They really are different.
Yeah.
Like us.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, guys. It's been real. It's been fun.
Tuning out from Austin, Texas, in the same room.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's keep it going.
All right.
Thanks, guys.